question number 5 are the same questions. Just as question number 1, we will have to convert kilos into grams. So 1 kilo of sugar is the same as 1,000 grams. So that's 1,000 grams, and it's the same. What about if you have 2 kilos? 2,000. Very good, 2,000 grams. Now, what about something tricky? 2.5, 2.5 kilos. So it's the same as before, but and a half. 2,500. Very good, 2,500. Because it can't be more than 2,000. It can't be 20,000 or 200,000 because it's the same amount. However, we have a dot here, so we're going to change the next numbers here, you see? So now let's say we have 2.576 kilograms. 2, yes, grams. Very good. And we can also change it the other way around. What about we have 2,576 grams? How much is that in kilograms? 2.576 kilograms. It's a bit closer. Yes, this lovely drawing there at the bottom. So yeah, so that's the same way. So all of this is that. So I could just write it here, 2,576 grams, same as 2.576 kilograms. Perfect. Now, what about if we change those numbers? What about if you have 10,384 grams? 10.384 kilograms. 384 kilograms. So how did we do that? We moved the comma. So if we have 2 kilograms, how can we do that? Our conversion measurement is always 1,000. So if we want to change 2,000 grams, let's put it here, 2,000 grams into kilos. How do we do that? How many zeros do we cross out? 3. So our magic number is 3. 1, 2, 3. So 2 kilos. Yeah, it is also the other way around. Sometimes you don't have just zeros, so you have a dot, and then you need to move the dot again 3 places because that's what it was. 1, 2, 3. So we move it 3 places to the right or to the left. Well, now we have to think where we're going to change it. So here, for example, our dot. If you don't have a dot, it's always at the end of the number. It's hidden here. So, for example, you have to pay 10,000 pounds, dot 00 cents if it were pounds. So this is grams, again, dot 00. Because it's 3 times, we move it 3 times. 1, we go in between the numbers. We make sure that our little baskets are just around the number. They don't go just underneath the number. They go in between because the dot moves in between numbers. So 1, 2, 3. So the dot lands here. And this is what we have here. Do you see? So 10.3 something. Okay. So how did we do that? That was a small unit. So our rule is small unit to big unit So we had grams, which is a small unit, and we wanted to convert it to a big unit. In which direction was the dot moving?
Small one go left and right, and the bigger one goes
Okay, so in this case, we moved it to the
right, the bigger one.
left. So you move it to the left. That is our rule. So we moved it to the left. Now let's see how else we have another small unit.
Morning.
Morning. 7, 3, 2, 1, 6 grams equals in kilograms. Where is our dot?
7, 2, 1.
Okay, but first, where is it?
There.
If you can't see it, yes, it's always at the end if you can't see it. Now we move it how many times?
3 times.
3 times. That's our magic number. 1, 2, 3. And it lands here. 3 times to the left because these are grams. Gram is a small unit. Small to big unit. Move the dot to the left. So that's 73.276 kilograms. Hello. All right. Now, what about if we don't have that rule? So let's say we apply a different, we have it the other way around. What about when we have 63.2 kilograms. So we have a big unit. Oh, sorry, this was grams into kilograms. Yeah, that's big. So we have the big unit here. So it's not small to big unit, it's big to small unit. Big because kilos, and small because gram is smaller than that. So do we also move it to the left?
No.
No. Exactly. So if it's the other way around, we also have to move the other way around. So we're not going to move to the left, we're going to move to the right. Okay. So I would say you only need to remember one rule because the other one is, is just the opposite. But if you want to have both rules here, we write big to small unit, you move it to the right. So it's this direction. That's the second rule. I mean, as I said, one rule is enough. That's all you need for this exercise. You only need to move the dot somewhere. Okay, so let's move it. We have to move it to the right, this direction. So how many times?
3 times.
3 times. 1. Oh, what happened there? We cannot do 3 times. We add a 0. Okay. So you can add zeros in front and at the back. Let's imagine I add a 0 here at the front. What does it do? Does it change the value?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
It changed when we move the dot.
When we move the dot, yeah. When we move the dot, it will change. But let's say these are 63 pounds that you have to pay. If I put a 0 in the shopping center in front, it doesn't make any sense, exactly. But do I need to pay more?
No.
No. Yeah, it's the same amount. It's just 0 zeros in front. What if I put zeros at the back? So let's remove this and just put 2 zeros here. Let's say you have to pay 63 pounds and in this case 20 cents. Does it change if I say .2 or in the supermarket if you have .2 or another 2 zeros at the back? Do you have to pay a different amount at the supermarket?
Yes.
Yes. No.
Because if you should have that in money, say you say that in money, would it be £63, 200 pence, or £200? So you say it's gonna be.
Depending on the dot.
Exactly, it's only depending where the dot is. Because these are, you know, in this case, 20 cents. And even if you add another zero, it will be then the next unit, which we don't have. We don't have another, you know, cent unit, but it would be the same. And you could add another 1,000 zeros on there. You know, you could play that a game with your brother. You know, I give you £1 and then I put a lot of zeros at the end. And then, you know, you think you're going to get more. No, exactly. It would be different if there wasn't a dot. Let's say you give your brother 1 and then he adds a lot of zeros. Is that a lot?
Yes.
That is a lot. Okay. So what about here? I'll have a dot here, £1. And now after the dot, I put a lot of zeros. It's still £1. Exactly. Okay, it's the same here. So if we don't move the dot, it's going to stay the same. We can add a lot of zeros here and here in order to help us to move the dot. Because sometimes we get stuck, you know, like here, we couldn't move any further. So we need to add some zeros here, or sometimes we need to add the zeros there. Okay, so this way, so we go 1, 2, 3. So we add this dot here. And what's our number now? Yeah, we don't need this one. 6, 3, 2, 0, 0. Very good. Now let's have 5, 2. Grams into kilograms. So this is small unit or big unit, a gram? Good morning. Small unit? Yes. So we are converting from a small unit to a big unit. Which rule does apply? Left or right? Left, exactly, because it says here small to big unit, so left. We're gonna go left. Where is left? This way. All right. So we've got the dot here. How many times do we move it?
3 times.
Why? Because that's our conversion unit. Because our conversion is 3 zeros. So that's why we're moving it. 1, 2. Oh, what happens here? I'm stuck again. Okay, we add another 0. Okay, we said we can add them at the front and at the back. Okay, and I jump again. It lands here. Oh, okay, this is a very strange number. We have 0.52. So that's our answer. But you won't see that in the supermarket, isn't it? 0.5052. How do I make this a proper number? It looks a bit strange. I mean, it's not incorrect. For example, you would find that in a statistic, in a paper, you know, like significance and so on. So that's fine. It's not like invalid. However, like, how does it look at the supermarket? Not good. Yeah. How do they do that? They say either you have to pay 5 pence in this case, or no, this is 0. It's a 0 here. So this is a 5. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to pay this one. You know, when you go to the petrol station, this, for example, could happen.
Yeah.
You have a number here that you can't actually pay. So, but anyway, what's there in front? How many? Well, what is my measurement? How many kilos are these actually?
-1.
No, we can't invent numbers.
Sorry, repeat that question.
So what?
52.
Which number do we put here?
0.
Yes, that's the only reasonable number because all the other numbers have a value. And we can't just put 1 kilo here, you know, if I put a 1 here, it's not 1 kilo. Think about it, it's 52 grams, 522. Oh, what did I write? Oh, there's another one. 5. There's another one. Okay, so it's not a kilo yet. So what is it then? It's 0 kilos, yeah. So we put a 0 there. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this again. It looks like this is a headache. All right. 4, 3, 2, 5 grams equals how many kilograms? So we're gonna move our dot. Which direction? This or that direction? Left. Okay, because we have a small unit to a big unit, and so it goes left, that direction. How many times? 3, because we have 3 zeros in one, in 1,000 grams, in 1 kilo, so that these are the same. So in order to make this the same as this, I have to move it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I put it here. Okay, so I write down 0.4325. Okay, so let's say this will be the number that you have to pay at the petrol station. So you would be only able to pay 43 cents anyway, because the rest you know it's not possible to pay. There is no, you know, no cash for it. Yeah, exactly. We don't have a smaller unit than penny. But how many pounds would you pay? So how many kilos are in there? 0 points. And if we look about it, so if we think about it, you know, these are 432 grams because here's the dot. So let's forget about that 5, about that half. You know, we also had a half here. Do you remember? 2 kilos and a half. So, but here we just forget about the half now. 432 grams. If I were to ask you 432 grams, is that a kilo?
No.
What is a kilo? 1,000. So this is only 400. 400 is not a kilo, so 0 is not a kilo yet. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that one.